Hello, good evening. Welcome to a special edition of Ben Shatliff on Tuesday. Tonight, I am delighted to have another candidate with me who's actually on the campaign trail as we speak, Dr. SHADMAN ZAMAN. He is standing as an independent candidate in Pilkington Park. And thank you very much indeed for the time to actually come tonight, short notice, right in the heart of the campaign, just 2 days before the actual election. First of all, why would you like to be elected on Thursday? That's the question, first of all.
Well, there are many reasons. Let's have a walk. Welcome to Pilkington Park, Ben, and thank you for coming as well.
It's okay.
In short notice as well. And as you can see, look at where our country is. I actually was very enchanted with the situation of the country and politics, and like a lot of residents, I was thinking, okay, who do I vote for? And I couldn't find anyone. Then I realized, okay, I've always made a difference in my life, and through my work, my activism, through my Zionist activism as well. And I realized, okay, the way to make a difference is, for me in this election, is running as an independent. Because both the Labour and Tories are not offering anything different. Tories are sleazy, corrupt, anti-Semitic locally. Labour, inept. We know what the situation of the Labour Council is. So I decided I should be running, and I just put my name on the ballot, and I'm running for mainly 3 reasons that I'm passionate about. I'm running to improve GP access, tackle antisocial behavior, and repair potholes better. I want to find out why pothole repairs here in Bury has one of the worst data or one of the worst sustainability. Like in other parts of the country, pothole repairs last longer compared to Bury, and we deserve better value for our money. And that's one of the main reasons I'm running. And yeah, also fighting anti-Semitism, both in Labour and Tory. I want to challenge that narrative also in the council as well, because I don't know if you know, like in the council, there is a lot of members, let's say, lot of movement for the BDS movement. So I want to challenge that BDS, pro-BDS movement in the council. And yeah, hopefully we will be, if I win, and please do vote for me so that I can win and I can carry on my promise. And yeah, I'm also open to ideas. Like I'll tell you this. Recently, someone told me, I know that the SEND, the SEND issue, the special education needs, curriculum by the council, and also the provisions by the council is very inadequate. Ofsted found it inadequate. So that's something I knew about the report, but I only knew it from a GP perspective because I'm a GP, not from an educator. So I actually knocked on a door, and that person and his wife, both were teaching educators, were telling me how they're extremely passionate about this topic. So I actually said, look, I don't want to promise you on the door whatever you want to hear. But even if I win or don't win, doesn't matter. After the election, I will find out what we can do better. Let's meet after the election, because during an election cycle, it's not really fair on such an important issue. So I said, I'll meet you after the election, and we'll do definitely something about it. So this is like my campaign, speaking to the people, telling them what I am passionate about and hearing what they are passionate about. And together we'll make the Pilkington Park better, and we'll make Bury better.
Yeah, and of course you're doing that as well as doing a full-time job as an A&E doctor.
And a GP. So I do GP 5 days a week on the weekdays and A&E on the weekends. A&E is more my thrill and passion, but GP is also something to give to the community. And because I also have a background in public health, I have a master's in public health, so that's something I can more correlate with as a GP. So that's why I do GP on the weekdays and A&E on the weekends.
And I know of how election times can be busy. Should we move along? I know how election times can be very, very busy, because I've been there myself many, many times as candidate, etc. Do you actually get any time to yourself so you can actually just take a breath of fresh air for a few moments?
Well, I'm sure. I know that you're friends with Yvonne, so you can ask Yvonne. Yvonne and Wendy, be careful. We can ask Yvonne and Wendy that last 2 months, I've been sort of so busy. I've been going home at around 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. at night, and then just sleeping and then going to work. But look, I believe in dedicating myself to the people. I'm inspired by someone like Yvonne, right, who actually does this like similar hours, crazy hours, and through my work, I'm grateful that through my work I can contribute heavily to the people's lives, and also through my politics, I want to contribute to the people, because I believe politics should be about the people, not safe seats, not power. You know
Well,
that you
yeah,
you
no,
are
exactly.
Tories wants this safe seat, Labour wants this safe seat, and yeah, that's not something I do. I enjoy politics because I believe through politics we can do so much better. We can make things better, and yeah.
Exactly. I mean, when you're saying that about how the battle for the safe seats, etc., I mean, I know all about that from years ago.
Yeah.
When I, years ago, used to stand in Holyrood, you always used to say unwinnable. Well, obviously, they're not saying that anymore. But the fact is, though, you need these so-called other seats for rainy day in scenarios when you start losing the safe seats, which is what happened in 2006, etc.
Yeah, yeah, true.
But yeah, they should be fighting. All, if ever anyone is standing in politics, whatever party, it should always. The heart is to actually try and win a seat,
Well, I'll I'll say this.
and to obviously do for the people.
I, I'm not here about winning a seat. Like I don't know if you've seen Raymond and I in March. We put out what our goals were. One of the main reasons were whether we win or not. We wanted the people to be aware that look, these are the things the councils can do. Like
Yeah.
the people are not aware that the council can have a role in improving GP access. Like the councils can return the money to the surgeries directly that they get paid as a business rate.
Yeah.
And that won't create much. That will probably create 600 more appointments per year. But at least it's the start of something. It's better than
Yeah.
nothing at the
Well,
moment.
exactly.
And like these things, if we don't speak about it, if we don't spread at the doorstep, people won't know. People won't go ahead with it. A lot of people are not aware of the anti-Semitism of the local Tories,
No.
how they deselected Jewish councillors. I was told that my Zionism brought them shame by the incumbent who is running in Pilkington Park, that they would lose seats in Red Vale. So these things, like people. Just as you said, politics should be about people, not about seats and like safe seats and this and that. Like, I don't think there should be any safe seats, and I don't think national parties, which are national, should be allowed to run in local politics. But that's my view. Maybe people might not like it, but I think local politics should be about local people, like from the borough, who can influence politics and who can. Who can speak to the people, because look, that big parties just put a leaflet through your doorstep. They will never speak to you. I take 5 to 10 minutes to speak to residents at the doorstep.
Yeah.
And big parties never speak to you at the doorstep. Big parties only care about their own agendas, and like, oh, they already have their apps. They know, they have their apps, and they know who will vote for them and who won't, and they will just do that. For me, speaking to the residents at the doorstep and engaging with them, that's how you do democracy, that's how you do politics. And Britain is the heart of democracy, the oldest democracy in the world. And we should be cherishing it. But I think now we have gotten into a system where, oh, the Tories know these houses are ours, this road is ours, Labour knows this road is ours. And one of the main reasons I'm running, I know that Martin West is running in Bessas, Yvonne has changed the landscape in Bury, Wendy is running in Tottington, like a very inspirational candidate from what she has done for Ukraine. Like everything that, all these people, we are changing the landscape. So one thing I will say this is, win or lose, that the movement for a change in Bury has begun, and hopefully it goes around in the country.
I mean, that also started going back 4 years ago.
Ratcliffe first,
exactly.
Absolutely, Ratcliffe First, very inspirational party what they have done, and I hope like Ratcliffe First makes it 9 out of 9 this year, because we deserve parties like Ratcliffe First. We deserve councillors like Yvonne Wright. I don't know if you've recently seen, it came out that Yvonne Wright in Tottington in the last year, there was 347 total councillor casework. Yvonne Wright did 311, and the other two Tory councillors only did 36.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
This is the thing. I mean, it's showing, like you say, it shows the dedication.
Yeah.
And I've also heard from others as well who speak to that you can see the ones which are doing the hard work.
Yeah.
People that sadly aren't elected as it stands at the moment, but doing the hard work.
Sure.
And, you know, it's not just, like you say,
Yeah.
just stand in the seat winning. You've got to do the hard work and you've got to show what you want to do to people. I mean, I can tell already you've been showing that, and I can see
Yeah.
from others I've spoken to as well.
Well, people take it for granted. Like, the big parties take it for granted.
Yeah.
Like, look, I've been campaigning hard for the last few months, and thanks to my campaigning, Nipper Lane is now on the council list for traffic calming measures.
Right.
And I've spoken to residents in Nipper Lane. I've spoken to, like, hopefully Lily Hill Street will be next on the list after Nipper Lane is done. So these are things that you don't have to be in the council, but you can always push the council. Like, I liaised with local residents about IX Wireless. I'm sure everyone is aware what happened with IX Wireless, and we have we put a question to the council. I think Amanda Law, credit to her, she was the one who organized it. Amanda and Duncan, and also I think Adam as well. Amazing job they are doing and putting up the fight against IX Wireless. Also, there is about places for everyone, like which is and also caste tax, like these things. There are some of the residents like Bury Folk, credit to them what they have done, especially Stephen Kluwer, amazing job, and also Ratcliffers, Carol Birchmore, they have done amazing. And like these things, you don't have to be in the council always, but you can still influence. But if think about what you can do if you are in the council and the influence that you can have, because people think, oh, it's the national parties. Like today as I was canvassing, a lot of people said, oh, what if the Tories get in? What if Labour doesn't win? What will happen nationally? I was like, well, this is not national. Like nationals do, like the nationals decide on their policies. Well, the local MP switched, but that's different national, I guess. But having said that, people don't realize that, oh, their potholes are based on the council. Their potholes are based on, or their speed limit of the roads are decided by the council, not the MP. The MP technically doesn't have that much power other than trying to lobby for influence. And having said that, like, people need to be more aware. The funny thing is, while knocking on the doorstep, like I think 75% of people didn't know who the name of their councillors. They knew the Tory or Labour or Tory or Labour. And that also needs to change. And part of it, okay, we are trying as an independent to raise awareness, but also part of it has to come from like the residents as well. Like Raymond has done so much for opposing places for everyone and saving the Elton Reservoir in the Greenbelt. But not many people in Elton know his name. But he's running as an independent in Elton. Like his people, and also like these things need to be highlighted. Maybe Raymond likes to work in the background, and not everyone highlights their work. But people need to be aware. Like we know how the world works. Some people hog the limelight, but these things should be made public. And I'm glad that people like you are coming to using your channel so that we can make it public.
Well, exactly. I mean, like I said before, years ago, I'd always wanted to go into journalism, and now I just do it myself.
Well, we live in a connected world.
Well, exactly. Do we want to go further down there, or which?
Let's go. So let's stick to this area because I do have to go.
Exactly. No, I do
as
completely understand.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned there about places for everyone, and in fact, I also want to touch on the pothole issue again as well.
Yeah.
I grew up in Simister,
Uh-huh.
so I completely understand the concerns about the Greenbelt lands, and I think of my two nephews who are both 10, and I'd like them to be able to appreciate what me and my younger brother had as we were growing up, where you could go for bike rides, walks, and if that goes ahead, it's all gone.
It's all gone. But one thing I'll say is the places for everyone. Look, both the political parties are playing ping pong. One says, and both have some points. One says the government, the Tory government set this guidelines or set these targets, and we have to meet the targets. Whereas the local Tories are trying to put it on the Labour that they can pull it out. So me and Raymond has proposed something very interesting. We looked at the data, and I'll be honest, there was so much misinformation. We weren't sure what is the correct information. We looked at all the plans and everything. We looked even at the Bury Folk group. I had a chat with Stephen at the Peel show. They did this show or consultation, and we are proposing an opt-in, opt-out referendum. Whether binding or not, that's on the council. But if there is a referendum, let every data came out. true, false, let all the data come out. I know the British people have a thing about referendum since the Brexit referendum, but let all the data come out and let the people decide, because we are opposed to it. We don't support it, but once the data comes out, my gut feeling is the residents of Bury will oppose it, and then it is a democratic vote, and then then the council will have to abide by it, because
Indeed.
If there is a democratic decision mandate, look, if it goes ahead, then then the people, we should be respecting that if it goes ahead, and if the people say, oh no, we are okay with building on the green belt. But if they say no, that's it, and then whoever goes ahead has violated democracy. And I think that's a better option rather than making it because right now we have become an echo chamber. Local Labour wants to go ahead with it. Local Greater Manchester Labour wants to go ahead with it, whereas there are activists like Stephen Kluwer, hats off to him what he does, who are opposed to it. But I don't think we are reaching anywhere at this point.
No, because I mean, I've actually said to Labour in the past as well about the fact that if they're saying they're doing it because they feel that the land will be built on without anything being officially done, then why don't they make themselves look to be the good people rather than looking like the bad ones in that scenario for building and not listening? And they do say there are consultations, but I mean, like you say, obviously people on both sides of the argument is, well, certainly the two so-called main parties, ping pong, just like it is on many other issues. But talking about potholes, I mean, I know potholes have been a big issue for many
me, that's
years.
One of the issues in this campaign.
Yeah, but it seems to me there seems to be even more potholes over recent years than what there has been for a very, very long time. Now, people blame COVID, but you can't keep blaming COVID for everything, and you know, things have been back to normality for 2 years.
Well, COVID was a reality, is still a reality. I won't downplay it, but having said that, pothole repairs need to be better. The reason we are getting more potholes is it's just getting they're not using good materials. Like Ringley Road is being done in Pilkington Park. It's great that it's being done. Both the parties are taking credit. I don't know if you've seen, the Tories have said, oh, we have been lobbying for it, and then local Labour said, oh, it was us who lobbied for it. But immediately, the layer was so thin, that the resurfacing of the layer was so thin, there was already a pothole appearing on the resurfaced part.
Right.
I had to raise it to the council, saying that, look, this is what's happening. So they have come now and they have again resurfaced a resurfaced part. They imagine the amount of waste they are doing. And the other thing about Ringley Road, which is great, it's being done, but if you were planning to do it, then why did you repaint all the road markings just 3 months before that? And in that case, why are you doing it just 1 month before an election? We all know the tricks, but
this is something that I've said when I've interviewed Steve Wright, and also when I interviewed Martin West yesterday, and I was saying about the fact that wouldn't it be good, because I mean, we all know that gas works, you can get emergency issues where a road might need to be dug up. But it's annoying when you might see a road being dug up 2 or 3 times. Why not coordinate it and just resurface the road properly?
And do it properly. We need better value for our money. What they try to do is do a lot of potholes just before an election, substandardly, showing that, whoa, we are working. They're doing Riddle Drive in Bessus as well, I believe.
Yes.
Martin told me that.
No, that was done a couple of weeks ago. I know that
just before an election. But the thing here is, if you're going to do that, do that properly. You want to show off before an election. Okay, we live in a PR world, unfortunately, where PRs matter more than real action. Martin has done a great job in Bessus, but not many people know him. I hope he really does well in this election.
Well, there's been over 60 views since the video which I put on yesterday from the interview that we did.
Well, I hope it gets more. I hope it gets 600, and he gets more and more votes and more recognition for all the amazing work he does for Bessus. But having said that, today we deserve better value for our money, and the pothole repairs and all the services that they are providing are so inadequate. Labour has their own agenda, they have their own ideas, and they don't the local Labour and the local Tories are clueless. They were passing budgets, alternative budgets. Not passing, they were claiming that, oh, we are doing alternative budgets. if you look at the alternative budget, they have nothing. Like, look, credit to Ratcliffe first. At least they have a manifesto. They've offered a manifesto.
Yeah.
What has the local Tories offered? Like, the alternative, when you talk about outside of Ratcliffe, when you talk about alternatives, what has the local Tories offered? Like, local Labour, okay, we criticize them correctly and justifiably to an extent. But what has the local Tories offered? They are mired in factionalism, the Daily faction, Bernstein faction, Nick Jones faction. We hear all of this, the factionalism. We deserve better. The people of Pilkington Park deserves better. The people of Bury deserve better. So I really, really urge you, if you have an independent candidate in your ward, vote for the independent candidate.
I mean, just looking ahead there to Thursday, I mean, like you say, I mean, even though some people, and I'm going to be, what's the word, because obviously I don't want to look like I'm making any criticisms towards anyone, I'm going to try and be diplomatic. And it was also said as well the other day when it was mentioned on here about, when I raised a point about stuff being done just before elections, roads, etc. Did they say, well, you know, it's not always just done then, but I mean, that's how it can seem to people when you see roadworks suddenly being done. But they
need to do it properly. One thing I'll say, they target a lot of roadworks, let's say 2-3 months before an election, and they just don't do it properly. And then it just breaks down in 8 months or 9 months, and then they are doing the same pothole again and again. Like, what's the whole point? You're wasting money. It's our money that you're wasting, and let's do it properly, and let's get a better value so that we don't have to do it every year. Like, target less, but do it properly. And I think if I get elected, I would rather be, like, I initially was thinking, well, should I be on the health committee as a doctor? But I would rather be on the audit committee, because many people don't realize you can do a lot of things on the audit committee.
Oh, yeah,
right now they don't do anything, because only the Ratcliffe First councillors who are on the audit committee actually propose something. But I would rather be on the audit committee and first audit how to do potholes better and how much we're wasting money, because they're doing the same potholes every year.
And there's also pavements as well across the borough, which I mean, certainly where I live in Holyrood Ward, it's like a tapestry of different pavework, not paints though, of course. But another thing I just wanted to ask you, because I know obviously you are.
You okay? I'm good.
Hello.
Well, no, I'm canvassing, but do vote for me on Thursday. Please do consider. Thank you.
You see, this is someone that's engaging. Yeah. The another thing, and obviously, because I know I'm interrupting your vital time, and I know how important the last 2 days of the campaign are.
Yeah.
It's looking like, I don't think this is going to be any kind of a top secret. It's looking now as if the Conservatives will be the third group on Bury Council when those results are counted in on Friday. Have you got any other predictions as to how you think it's going to go on Friday when those results come in on Friday?
Well, it's too early to make predictions. I actually do. I'm a guy who prefers. I make projections, not predictions.
Yeah.
But my projection says like, well, my projection. I'll keep my projection to myself. As a candidate, I shouldn't give it. But I hope to win. First of all, I hope to win. I've run a campaign on humility and integrity. And transparency. Everything I've done is very transparent, and people can see everything on my social media. But in terms of what you have just said, well, I don't know how the council, what do you call it, the council constitution works, but like Labour are not going to lose their majority, whatever the outcome is. Not enough seats are up for re-election.
No.
But if the Tories do poorly as predicted, by national polls, then Ratcliffe First and maybe an independent bloc, Ratcliffe First plus a few independents like Wendy and Yvonne. If Wendy wins and even Martin wins, or if I win or Raymond wins, we can always form a coalition bloc if it is allowed in the constitution. If there are changes to be made, let's see. I have to look into the constitution, but Ratcliffe First might in itself be the second biggest party, which would be a great achievement, and
definitely within 4 years.
Yeah, and I hope they can hold the Labour current council and the overall council to account, because I think what we are lacking is the accountability, and that's something I think you have seen my Facebook. I've been calling for accountability, and we deserve better, and I don't know what else to say. Like at this point, we deserve better. We deserve better than the two-party shackled politics that has ruined this country. And look, the Greens and Lib Dems are running. I don't know why. They haven't even campaigned except for probably Holyrood. And we like these party politics, as I've said already in your video, these party politics are holding our country down. Look at where the country is. We need independence. We need people that can speak for the residents, stand up for the interest of the residents, and not just their own interests and just party politics and internal factionalism. Please vote for the independent candidate in your ward, and vote for me, Dr. SHADMAN ZAMAN in Pilkington Park.
Well, thank you very much for coming on. I'll just finalise this by just obviously thanking Dr. SHADMAN ZAMAN once again for coming on. Hopefully we'll come on again in the future as well, whatever this scenario on Thursday. On Thursday evening, as I already mentioned, I'll give a prediction at 10 o'clock, and then throughout the day I'll be giving analysis as those results come in. Please stay tuned on YouTube and also on social media. Whoever it is you're going to vote for on Thursday, use your vote because it is important. Take care and have a good evening. Goodbye.